Ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary folk, the amount of books in this book haul is astronomical. I have an addiction and I cannot stop buying books, and it is not okay. Now I need you all to consider your role in this part. Shame on you. Shame on you. Hello peoples of the internet, my name is Kevin and welcome back to another video. So guys, this is actually one of the first videos I've done like a proper sit down with my ring light and my other camera in a very long time, so hello, I haven't done this in a while. But anyways, now that we're in the new room and stuff, I'm trying to figure out places to like do these kind of videos where I'm sitting down with the camera and the ring light and like places in the room to sit. Let me know if this area is a good spot. I'm literally just sitting on the floor in front of my bookshelf with my ladder and stuff. Let me know if this is a good location, or if you would prefer me to sit back in my bed like I used to in my old videos and stuff with like the tapestry and whatever in the background. Let me know. And yeah, this is just a trial and error. We're going to be trying at different locations to see what works. But anyways, for today's video, I am doing a book haul that is long overdue because I haven't done a book haul since the start of the year, back in January or February, I believe. And since then, we have of course gone into quarantine. And during that time period, I've acquired quite a lot of books, and like, as I've already said, the amount of books in this book haul is literally astronomical. I'm literally just sitting with them all here and I'm like, why do I do this? So yes, I think I have like 47 books in this book haul to get through, so it's going to take us a while. We love that. Actually, several of these I have already read, so like we also love that for me. Like, I'm actually doing a lot of reading this year. Shock, I usually don't do so much reading, but my reading has been so good so far. So yeah, I'm gonna get straight into this video. It's going to take a while, so if you would like to go get a snack, go do so, because this is going to take a while. But I'm also not going to get into the synopsis for every single one of these books because it's going to take me forever to do. We're going to go through all of the different books and talk about all of the ones that I bought during quarantine, which ones I've read, etc, etc. So let's get into it. So I don't know where to start. I have 5 piles literally right here beside me, so I'm like, where do I start? So the first one that I have is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare, which is the first book in the Last Hours series, and I have already read this book. If you guys know Cassandra Clare and all of her different books, she has several different series. People ask me a lot like, what way should you read the Cassandra Clare books and etc, and like they get confused as to like what order. I get confused. I am someone who is a big fan and I literally get confused myself. Anyways, I have read this during the stay-at-home reading rush. I absolutely loved and adored it. I did a reading blog for it, so I might link it down below in the description because I probably have a lot of reading blogs for several of these books. So I'll try to remember to link them all down below. But yes, this is one I read, absolutely loved it, and yeah, that's all we're going to talk about for that. Then next up, we've got another one that I've already read, and that is Crescent City or House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. I read this back in March when it came out as well. I also have a reading blog for this, and I also loved and adored this book. It's one of my favorite books of the year. So yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about this one as well. Then I have got, I just realized I forgot to include a book into this haul, so make that 48 books. So the book that I have is 50 Shades Darker by E.L. James, but of course I also got 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James, the first book, so include both of these in this little section. So anyways, I recently got 50 Shades Darker so that I can continue my series where I'm reading these for the first time. This is going to be my next video that is coming out, so look forward to that. This is the one a lot of people are waiting for this video, so I'm really sorry for the wait, but it's literally going to be the next video after this book haul that goes on my channel, so it is coming. And the next one that I have is Death Note Black Edition Volume 1, and I have also read this as well. I don't think I vlogged when I read this. I read this for the Asian Readathon, and I tried to do a vlog, and the vlog just, she was bad. We don't talk about that vlog, but I read that during that vlog and I absolutely loved this. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I had never read a manga before, so this was my first manga to read and I really enjoyed it, and I cannot wait to continue on with the series. So the next one that I have is one that I bought during my live show that I did, where I did Come Book Shopping Online with me and I did a live stream with you guys, and that book is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I don't know too much about it. I just know it has stuff to do with Greece. It has to do with like Achilles and stuff like that. I don't really know that much. I honestly, when I first heard about this book, I just thought it was like, you know the movie Troy? I thought it was like an LGBT version of that. I could be wrong in saying that, but like I also can't remember the name of the characters in that. I feel like Achilles was in that. Like there's an Achilles in Troy. So I always just thought that this was an LGBTQIA plus version of Troy. And I love Troy, that movie, so I also love Troy Bolton. Let's not ignore that. And the next one that I have is a pre-order that I did because this was a book I was very excited to read and I still haven't read it yet, but also another one I want to read soon. I have so many books I want to read, so little time. It's a struggle. But this one is The Deck of Omens by Christine Lynn Herman. Now this is the sequel to The Devouring Grey, which I read last year, and it was actually one of my favorite books of last year. So I am very excited to read the sequel and find out what else happens because I just love the characters in this series, so I cannot wait to see what's going to happen next. And if you don't know what this series is about, this is the second book. The first one is called The Devouring Grey, and it's basically like Stranger Things meets Riverdale kind of vibe in my opinion. That's what I see. A lot of people compare it to the Raven Boys, and I personally don't see the Raven Boys connection because I'm not a fan of the Raven Boys. Like, I didn't like that book. So I don't see the Raven Boys in here. I literally see Riverdale meets Stranger Things. And when I say Riverdale, I mean when Riverdale was good. That's what I mean. Not what Riverdale is now. When it was good. That, maybe, was it ever good? Who knows? When Riverdale was good, that's what this is like with Stranger Things vibes in it. And the next three that I have are all graphic novels, which I read in my 24-hour readathon where I read 7 books. So I'm not going to talk about them too much because I literally only talked about them like 2 videos ago. But those 3 books are Heartstopper Volume 3 by Alice Oseman, and then Fence Volume 2 and Fence Volume 3. And these 2 were actually gifted to me by a subscriber named Kimmy. So thank you so much, Kimmy, for sending these to me. I really, really appreciate it. And you guys know I really enjoyed these because I read them in that 24-hour readathon and I enjoyed them. And you also know I am obsessed with Heartstopper. It is my favorite graphic novel of all time. If you haven't read it, you should go do so. Boy meets boy, very cute and adorable, plays on your heartstrings, and it makes your heart stop. Pun intended. And the next one I have is Only Mostly Devastated by Sophie Gonzalez. This is also another book I have already read. I read this for a video where I did a challenge where I tried to read a book in one sitting, so I will also link that down below if you want to watch that vlog. And I read this book and I absolutely loved this. This is a 5 out of 5 star book for me as well. And if you liked Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda, like me, it's my favorite book of all time, you will also like Only Mostly Devastated. It's just so adorable. It's literally like an LGBTQIA plus version of Grease. Ugh, it's everything. So the next book that I have is Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Albertalli and Aisha Saeed. Now, I have actually also read this as well. I did really enjoy it. And this is kind of one, it has to do with a lot of politics in it. So if you're not into US politics, especially me, someone who's Irish, I don't know how much I would get into it because I don't really understand the US political system, like how everything works, because I'm not from the US. So I didn't know if I would actually enjoy the book because it dealt with so much of that. But actually I was pleasantly surprised because I did really end up enjoying this and the romance was adorable. I loved the characters. One of my favorite things about Becky Albertalli books is how much I just love her characters. And I also loved Aisha Saeed's writing too, and I just really enjoyed it. I loved all the different representation that was in here. Yeah, I just really enjoyed it. The next 2 that I have are both arcs that I was sent by Penguin Ireland, and they are Love Frankie by Jacqueline Wilson and Harrow Lake by Kat Ellis. All I know really about this one is that it's like a YA horror novel, which this little thing down here, creepy. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. And then this, I believe, is Jacqueline Wilson's first LGBTQIA plus book. So the next book that I have is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. Now this is one I've heard many great things about, especially from my friend Chloe from Books with Chloe. She really loves this book and I'm really looking forward to reading this. I've heard many great things and I also know the sequel is coming out at the end of this month or in a couple of days. So I'm excited to read this one. Hopefully I will love it and then I can read the second one. So yes, definitely excited to get to this one. I need a bit of romance book in my life right now, so definitely going to be getting to this one very soon. Then I have Winter by Marissa Meyer, which is the final book in the Lunar Chronicles series. I have still not finished reading this series, and so it's about time I finally bought the book and so I can read it, because I do really love this series, but I just haven't finished it yet. So finally getting to read Winter. Hopefully I'm going to finish it and just absolutely love it. Then the next two books are two books that are part of a series, and those books are, I don't know which one is book 2 and which one is book 3. Okay, never mind, it says on the spine. We're all good. So those two books are A Gathering of Shadows and A Conjuring of Light, both by B.E. Schwab. Now, I read A Darker Shade of Magic back in the reading rush of 2019, and I really ended up enjoying that book. So I have wanted to continue on with the series because I obviously want to know what happens next. So I got book 2 and I got book 3. She's quite thick. This one's not too bad, but this one's thick, and hopefully I will read them soon. I might keep one to read maybe during the Reading Rush 2020, but who knows. So the next one that I have is Five Dark Fates by Kendar Blake, and this was actually a book that was gifted to me from a subscriber named Camille, so thank you so much, Camille, for sending this to me. I'm so thankful for you sending this to me for my birthday. Thank you so much, and I am really looking forward to reading this. I have read book 1 and book 2 in this series. Book 1 was like okay, I think I gave it like 3.5, and then book 2 was so much better, so I'm definitely excited to continue on. I already own book 3, and then this is the final book, book 4, so when I read book 3 I can definitely get straight into this one and just see what's going to happen. I actually kind of miss this series because it's a fantasy book that was just so much fun to read about, so I definitely want to get back to that. The next one that I have is Reverie by Ryan Lasala, and this was gifted to me by Maddie over at Book Browsing on Twitter, and this was also another birthday gift, so thank you so much, Maddie, for sending this to me. I really appreciate it. And also this cover is so stunning. Like, I've seen it on YouTube videos and stuff, but I didn't realize how pretty this cover was, and it's just stunning. Like, I cannot wait to read it. And this book, I know, follows like some boy who like is found in a river or something, and like he doesn't remember anything, and like the whole world is all different. There's so much like mystery towards it all, and like why doesn't he remember anything? Then the next one that I have is Becoming by Michelle Obama, and this was actually gifted to me from Chloe from Books with Chloe for my birthday, so thank you so much, Chloe, for sending this to me. And I am so excited to read this one because you guys know I love a good biography book. I literally love them so much, and I've heard nothing but great things about this one. I also love Michelle Obama, like with all of my heart, and Barack Obama. I literally love them so much, and I'm just so excited to finally have her book and to read it, and I just know I'm going to love it because I also know the audiobook is read by Michelle Obama. And my fangirl self is just gonna love that because it's gonna be like she's talking to me, and I'm gonna thrive. Like, I'm going to thrive. The next one then that I have is The Inquisition, which is book 2 in the Summoner series by Taran Matharu. I read book 1 back in January. It was one of the first books I read in the entire year, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And it's just such a good book because it gives me so much Pokemon vibes, which I absolutely love because I love Pokemon. And so I'm definitely excited to continue on with this series and read the second one. Also, I believe the first one ended on a cliffhanger, so I need to get to this soon. So the next 5 books that I have are all ones that I talked about in a very recent video because I unboxed them from a package that I got from Becky Albertalli, and they are 5 different editions of Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda. So we have this one. I'm not going to try to pronounce them because I don't speak the languages, but this is the German version of Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda. We also have the Italian version, the Danish version, the Portuguese version, and the French version. And I just love these so much, and I'm still so amazed and grateful that Becky Albertalli sent these to me, and it's still just one of the best birthday gifts I've ever gotten. The next book that I have is You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson, and this was another pre-order that came in, and I am so excited to read this one because this one, I believe, follows this girl who wants to get into this college and she can't afford to get into it, so her last opportunity that she can think of is to get a scholarship because she knows if she gets crowned like prom queen, she gets basically a scholarship to the school that she wants to go to. And then this other girl is also going to be prom queen, so there's like a thing going on. I'm assuming that maybe those 2 characters fall in love. we shall see what's going to happen. Then the next one that I have is Date Me Bryson Keller by Kevin Van Wy, which when I first got this book, I got very excited because the author's name was Kevin. I don't think I own a book by someone who's named Kevin, so I'm very excited to add this to my collection. Someone with the same first name as me. But this is also another one that was a gift for my birthday from my friend Ilse from Ilse's Books, so thank you so much Ilse for sending this to me. This is another one that gets highly compared to Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda, and many of my friends that have already read it have already told me I'm going to love it. So I cannot wait to get to it. Then the next one that I have is Dear Martin by Nick Stone, and this is a book I've just been meaning to pick up for the longest time, and I finally did so, and I've heard nothing but great things about this, so I'm really looking forward to getting to it as soon as possible. The next one that I have is The Music of What Happens, and this is another one that was gifted to me for my birthday by Savannah, which is one of my subscribers, so thank you so much Savannah for sending this to me. I really appreciate it, and this is one I've been really looking forward to reading for such a long time. It just follows these like two boys set in 1980s, and they have to spend the summer together, and it's like, I know they're gonna fall in love because like they're holding hands on the cover. We know that's what's gonna happen. And the next 7 books that I have are all Stephenie Meyer books. So we have Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, The Short Second Life of Brie Tanner, Life and Death, The Host, and Breaking Dawn. We all know I've been reading them for the very first time. I've done videos for literally every single one of these books, so I'm sure maybe you've seen them already, but I'll link them down below also if you haven't seen them. And the next one that I have is A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. And this is one that I feel like is right up my street because it has to do with sirens, which if you don't know what a siren is, it's like a type of mermaid that like lures you in by like singing this song. And I'm really looking forward to reading it because I have a fascination with like mermaids and sirens, even though I haven't read many books about it, but I've seen this one being talked about a lot and I was like, I need to pre-order it, I need to get it. And I did, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. It's actually a lot shorter than I was expecting, but I'm really hoping that I'm going to love it. So the next one that I have is Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. Now this is another one that I read during my 24-hour readathon video that I did. And this was also another book gifted to me by Kimmy, so thank you so much Kimmy once again for sending this to me. And I did really enjoy this book. I talked about it in that vlog, so if you want to go hear my thoughts and know more about the book, you can go watch that video. Then I have got The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, which is the prequel book to The Hunger Games, which recently came out in May. And I still haven't read it. I actually took me a while to finally get a copy of this. Like it literally took forever for it to get into my hands. But I finally have it and I am planning on doing a spoiler-filled video all about it when I read it. So make sure you look out for that. But basically, if you don't know, this is a prequel set before The Hunger Games, and the main character is President Snow, a young President Snow, which I don't know how I feel if I want to read about that, but I've seen mixed things, I've seen good things, I've seen bad things, so I'm interested to see where I will fall with this one. Then the next 2 are 2 more that I read during my 24-hour readathon video, so I'm going to just talk about them really quickly, and that is Felix Ever After by Kaysen Callender and All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. If you haven't read either of these books, I would highly recommend you read both of them because they're both absolutely amazing. This one is a memoir of George M. Johnson's life, and it talks about being black and queer, and it's just an amazing read. I would highly recommend that you read it. And then this one is probably another one that's going to be one of my favorite books of the entire year because I just loved it so much. The romance is everything. It is also one, if you loved Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda, you're going to love this one, so go pick it up. Next one that I have is Darius the Great Is Not Okay, and this is another one that was gifted to me by Kimmy, so once again Kimmy, thank you so much. Like honestly, it was so nice of you to send me all of these books, and I really appreciate it, so thank you so much. And this is another one that was recommended to me by Chloe from Books with Chloe. She said that she really loved it, and she thought I would also love it, so I'm assuming that I will, and I cannot wait to get to it. I don't know much about it, I just know it has a lot with like coming to terms with your sexuality and discovering who you are, and I think it also deals with depression, and so I'm just looking forward to getting to it and we shall see what I think. Then I have Queen of Coin and Whispers by Helen Corcoran. Now this is an Irish book by an Irish author that is a fantasy book with a sapphic relationship, and I would highly recommend that you read it because I read this back in April I think, and I really enjoyed it. Would highly recommend that you pick it up and read it. Then the next one that I have is Starfish by Akemi Don Bowman, and this is another one that I bought during my Come Online Book Shopping With Me video, and I bought this one mainly because of, once again, Chloe from Books of Chloe absolutely loving it so much, and she got very emotional about this book because she felt so represented and that she could relate to someone so much. So when I saw her reaction to this book, I knew instantly I needed to buy it, I needed to read it. The next one that I have is A Little Life, and this one is another one that I bought during my Come Online Book Shopping video with me, and I know this book is probably going to make me sob like a lot. Like a lot of people have said I will cry reading this book, so cannot wait for that. We love me crying. I'm really looking forward to reading this one, and I think I'm going to do a dedicated vlog for when I do end up reading this one because I just think I might have a lot of thoughts and opinions on it. Now we're moving on to the second last book in this haul, and that is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is a very thick book, like it's like 800 pages, so absolutely love that. But this is one that's so hyped on BookTube. A lot of people love this book. I'm excited to read it and see if I am also going to love it. I do think when I do read this, I will get it on audiobook because it's such a big book that it kind of intimidates me. But I know this has to do with dragons. There is a female-female romance in it, so I'm really looking forward to reading this, and hopefully I will love this. And then the final book in this haul is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. And this is the final book that I bought in the Come Online Book Shopping With Me video. And this is one that one of you guys went and recommended to me, and I went and looked up the synopsis and I read it. And it's like, has something to do with like Macbeth, which if you guys don't know, I'm a huge Shakespeare fan. Like I really love Shakespeare. So when I read the synopsis about this book, it sounded like one that I feel like I will really enjoy because it kind of has like a thriller, like murder mystery to it, but also like Macbeth vibes, which Macbeth is one of my favorite Shakespeare plays. That and Romeo and Juliet, like love those. So I'm really excited to read this one and see what I'm going to think. And I've also haven't seen many reviews about it. I've seen a couple people give it like 4 stars, so I'm really hoping that I'm also going to really enjoy it. So we shall wait and see once again. So guys, we have finally come to the end of this book haul. My legs are completely numb. I have got pins and needles because of the way I have been sitting. So when I try to stand up, it's going to be a fun time. Like my leg is literally so asleep. It's gonna be a nightmare to stand up. But anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below in the comments if you have read any of these books. If there's any that I haven't read yet that you guys think I need to read ASAP, let me know down below in the comments and I shall boost it up higher on my TBR. Other than that, that is going to be it for this video, and I shall see you all next time in my next video, which will be the 50 Shades Darker video, I promise. So, goodbye guys.